A reading from the Gospel according to Luke. Now during those days, Jesus went out to the mountain to pray, and he spent the night in prayer to God. And when day came, he called his disciples and chose 12 of them, whom he also named apostles: Simon, whom he called Peter, and his brother Andrew, and James and John, and Philip and Bartholomew, and Matthew, Thomas, James the son of Alphaeus, and Simon, who was called the Zealot, and Judas son of James, and Judas Iscariot, who became a traitor. He came down with them and stood on a level place with a great crowd of his disciples and a great multitude of people from all Judea, Jerusalem, the coast of Tyre and Sidon. They had come to hear him and to be healed of their diseases, and those who were troubled and with unclean spirits were cured. And all in the crowd were trying to touch him, for power came out from him, and he healed all of them. The word of the Lord. As many of you probably know from past sermon videos, before I was a priest, I was a teacher. And part of why I loved being a teacher, I think part of what drew me to that vocation, was I loved the idea of the immediacy in being able to take what I've learned, some new bit of information, a fact, a technique, a bit of knowledge that I receive, and then I was immediately then able to turn around and then share it with others. And friends, family, and maybe enemies alike will tell you that I never passed up a good opportunity to share a lesson that I had learned with others. Now, when I left being a teacher to being a priest, one of the things I discovered is that actually is also very much the path of discipleship. And we hear that in this gospel story today, a story where Jesus first goes up to the mountain to pray, and he receives what he needs, and then immediately goes down the mountain and shares what he has received with his disciples. Then he in turn expects them to take what they've received and to go out into the world and share what they've received with others. We're not meant to take the gifts that we receive and keep them to ourselves, whether that's a bit of knowledge or a fact or a technique that we've learned in school, or it's a bit of the love or compassion or forgiveness, mercy, or a call to justice that we have received. We're not called to keep those things to ourselves. We're called to receive them and then share them with others, to pass them on. I think of that as very much a part of what we do in the church. The church on a Sunday morning is not meant to be the place where we come and we keep the love of God in the building to ourselves. It's where we come up the mountain like Jesus did, and we receive what we need. Again, whether that is a little bit of food, a little bit of nourishment, some knowledge and wisdom, some compassion or forgiveness, whatever it is you receive in that moment, so that you can then leave the church, go out down that mountain, and Monday through Friday, share what you've received with others. And maybe you're not somebody that goes on a Sunday morning into a church building and receives there, but you receive somewhere. You receive somewhere, whether it's these sermon videos, or a wise friend, or a teacher, a parent. Maybe it's something that you learn and gather in school, or from people that you meet out on the street. Whatever blessings you receive in body, mind, or spirit, give thanks. Give thanks, because that's a gift that you've been given, and part of how you show your gratitude is by taking that gift and then going and sharing it abundantly with the world. And we know it's super easy to live in a world where you've been hurt, to then turn around and use that pain to go and lash out and hurt others in the midst of your pain. But it also works the other way around, to take the love that you've received, the compassion, the forgiveness, the joys, whatever it is that you've been given, give thanks. Go and share it with others, so that then they too can receive and also share with others. And in that way, we keep the path of discipleship going from what we've received, going all the way back to Jesus climbing that mountain, to today and tomorrow and the people who will receive after us. Amen.